Hey, how's it, viewers of the tube? My name is Tyler, aka Chico, and you know what time it is. It's time for crypto and a cold one. Today's featured brewski is Grolsch Premium Lager. It's out of Holland as well, same as Heineken. But this must be like their cheaper competitor or something, I don't know. Let's get into it. Is good. Today I would like to discuss 3 projects whom are powerhouses, but their names for some reason haven't broke mainstream just yet. These 3 projects have high potential for good returns, and all 3 potentials come from different reasons. One has a built-out platform, one is a regional smart contract and token issuing system, and the other has the partnerships and connections to end all partnerships. First, let's begin with the partnership token. Bithumb ring a bell to anyone? From reported volume on Bithumb yesterday, nearly $3 billion of trading volume. That is over 3 times the next largest exchange out there. Bithumb is a Korean exchange, and from looking at the rankings of volume per coin, we can come to some conclusions. Koreans, number 1, like Bitcoin. Number 2, they want privacy, as Zcash and Monero are listed as the next highest volumes. From the 4th ranked crypto Walton Chain, it's easy to see that they like their own homegrown technologies, since the Walton Chain team is half Korean. Walton Chain has over $465 million of volume, so a Korean coin that gets added will most likely become fancied by the whale traders that inhabit the exchange. I'm sure if you've tuned into the Chico crypto channel before, you know what coin I'm talking about. Bezant, baby! The Bithumb listing is coming, and I have my money on this month. I don't know what day, I just know it's very, very close. If we take a look at the charts for the last month, bezant has steadily moved up week after week. It has multiple 20 to 30% 24-hour pumps throughout this time. At the bottom of the chart, we see that the volume has been steadily increasing too, with today's volume being over $1.6 million. Now, I have showed this before, but I'm gonna keep reiterating it. Go to Bezant's website by typing into your browser bezant.io. Scroll down to working with, and looky who we have, Bithumb. The question of the listing isn't if, it is when, and I am saying November is the time, especially if we see a turnaround for Bitcoin and the entire crypto markets this month. But remember, the volume of a Korean-based coin, Walton Chain, over $465 million. Bezant is even more Korean than Walton, with powerhouse Korean team members. Steve Tay, Daesik Kim, whom by the way is Bithumb co-founder, Mark Yu, Noah Wang, Ray Chow, and the CEO of Jimmy, CJ Kim. My style of investing is looking for things like this, big exchange listings hiding in plain sight. But they of course need the technology and a clear use and target market. And I need that for me to make big investments. Well, the unsung heroes of all crypto projects, the developers, are making Bezant and the Jimmy content platform come to realization here soon, and has a clear use and target market. What's Bezant's use? Payment rails. How about the target markets? Game publishing, e-commerce, music and video streaming, communications, and social media channels. Specifically, Bezant is a payment rails blockchain integrated into Jimmy Pay. Let's check out a video of what the developers have going on there.
But for this test demo, we created a feature where you can just press to receive bezant. So for this one, I'll just press this button. Okay, so I received 1000 BZNT. Now I am going to take that 1000 and send some over to the receiver's wallet address. So all I need to do is copy the receiver's wallet address, and I copied it. And I'm going to use my wallet, and it will require me to enter my password. And then right now, yep, you can see the 1000. I'm going to send, let's say, 66.78 BZNT. And then the wallet address is as so. I paste it there, and then I'm going to press the transfer button. And then I'll enter my password one more time. And then let's see. Okay, so my transaction has been successfully submitted, and you'll get a link to that transaction. So I'm going to press that link. So you'll be redirected to a page. And it looks like the transaction was a success. So in this page, you can see the transaction hash, the status, which was a success, the block height, the timestamp, and from and to addresses, and the amount that you sent, and the contract name that this transaction is pertaining to, and also the data, which contains the bytecode. And I'm going to look at the list of transactions. I'm going to press the transaction menu. And so these 4 transactions were the transactions used to create the wallet, the 2 wallets, to receive the bezant, BZNT, and then to send the BZNT. Now these 2 wallets, these 2 transactions are actually created when you create a wallet. So once you create a wallet, you create a transaction. So this transaction pertains to the sender wallet, and this transaction pertains to the receiver's wallet address. Oh, it's a wallet. And these are 2 transactions that are shown in the list. And then when we receive the 1000 BZNT, we receive it from the master wallet address, and that transaction is shown here. And then there's another transaction that shows us transferring from the sender's wallet to the receiver's wallet of 66.78 BZNT. And let's see if it's reflected on the scan. As you can see, the block height is 1239, and the block height is right here. It's actually reflected. And I think the transactions from this 1236 was the actual transaction that we made. It's accurately portrayed in the scan. And also it's reflected in the transaction details as well. So you can see that the transactions are immediately reflected in real time onto the bezant scan, and you can see the different the different parts in the graph of the transaction and blocks. Okay, so you might be wondering why there is a block height of 1239 and all blocks are 1240, why there's a discrepancy. It's because when we first began the block, we began with block 0, which is the Genesis block.
So the bones of Bezant is seriously close to being ready. What about the Jimmy content platform? This is where things get really exciting because they are creating a new and fresh D-App store. And from the looks of it, it makes anything Ethereum has put out to shame.
And you should be able to sign in and see the home of the admin page. And the home, the notice, you can see the different updates or announcements. Now we're going to go and register an app. These are the apps that we already registered, but for today, we're going to show you how to register one for demo purposes. And the title is going to be What a Convenience Store. The package name, I'll say wada.jimmy.com, and this for Android. Okay, so I get that, and then I will download the JSON file, and then press next. Okay, these are the Android CP SDK guidelines. I'm going to press finish. Next, I'm going to have to fill in some details for this, and for simplicity's sake, I've already done that for you. So there are different menus, so you need to input the information according to each menu. For the information, I already put all the information here. We're going to upload this app. The configuration file, I already got that. The service country, I added Korea, and we added the different information, the screenshots and the banners. And then we're going to upload, we already uploaded the APK, so it's already uploaded. And I'm going to save it. Success. All right. So we're going to go back to this. Okay, waiting for review. So now it is ready for release. And when I press deploy, it's going to actually be deployed on the App Store. All right, now I'm going to press deploy. And now you can see the state, it's in service. So we're going to check this out in the App Store. So right here we are looking at the App Store, and if you look at the new apps part, one cool feature is that you don't really have to go press the more button. You can just go through the apps altogether. These are the apps that we uploaded.
Looking good, and the next couple of months will be very nice to Bezant. All this tech should be getting released soon, and all components are in the final stages of development. The next coin I would like to revisit is something our channel loves. smart contract platforms. I love Ethereum, I love Neo, I love Icon. I love each one of those because they have a unique smart contract and virtual machines. But also they have regional connections like Ethereum in the West, Neo in the East, and Icon in Korea. What other major markets are in the East, which Neo or any other Chinese project could never get a piece of? Russia. What smart contract platform is homegrown in Moscow? If you are thinking about Waves, you are correct, and this coin is cruising along right under people's noses. Waves takes a different approach to smart contracts than Ethereum and the complicated interplay of its smart contracts. The blockchain is actually not meant for doing complicated smart contracts. That is why Satoshi utilized non-Turing complete smart contracts within Bitcoin. Turing completeness means there are near infinite possibilities, which means a larger amount of vulnerabilities that could be exposed to built smart contracts. The Ethereum blockchain with Turing complete smart contracts is facing problems. You can't execute the smart contracts because the proof of work blockchain wasn't meant for this. Even when you do write the contracts and get them into use, a very thorough audit is required as there are so many bugs that lead to hacks. And we have seen this over and over on Ethereum. Waves took a similar approach to Neo and built out its non-Turing complete smart contracts first and perfected them. The language used to write the smart contracts is called the RIDE language, and it's a non-Turing complete language that is simple, expressive, and bug-free. These have already been perfected and allow multi-signature capabilities, token freezes, and atomic swaps. What's beautiful about this is the language of RIDE has no cycle and recursion possibility. That is one of the features of Ethereum, and it leads to those infinite possibilities. The next step is Ride-On, Turing complete smart contracts that will allow dApps to be built on Waves. The testnet for this is coming out in Q1 of 2019. Now, RIDE can be Turing complete when it is used in conjunction with their blockchain, since in theory the blockchain has infinite length. Waves language, even though it's restricted in its complexity, can chain calculations together that are done over several blocks, so you get that Turing completeness, but in a secure way. Waves distributes the loads of the smart contracts across the blockchain, not replicating it directly in a single block. So who is getting ready to hang loose and ride on some waves? Unique smart contracts, a regional focus? I'm definitely in, brah. The final project I would like to discuss hits every deadline and exceeds expectations. Their platform is functioning and expanding into new regions every day. That project is Travala and travala.com. Travala is a travel booking website which cuts out the middlemen and uses crypto to provide lower rates for users and more profits for the owners. When I first reviewed the platform, they only had Vietnam as a country you could use the service in. Talking about regional expansion, they have properties all over Asia, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Japan, and more. They even have expanded to Europe and even got a foot in Russia. They have hit the Oceanic countries, including Australia and 11 others. This is a working product, people, and has a stellar team that meets deadlines and improves day after day. Once the US is added to the platform, it will be utilized that much more. And a big reason I have some AVA tokens, so I can use them. The market cap of Travala is mind-blowingly low, just over $2 million. And looking at the volume, only $2,000 worth. This is an exchange issue, but this will turn around in my opinion, especially if they keep their heads down, expanding and building. Cheers, viewers, and I will see you next time.